It's like last night when Mike totally blew me out of the water.
Double spell Piers, let's go!
It was so dirty. I'm like, he's only got 2 mana up. I've got 7. I got Sunfall plus Make Disappear or Negate to choose from. I got 7 mana. Let's go. Swing with my 3 tokens. And he's just like, no blocks. And I was like, oh, I'm donkey. Oh, I'm so donkey. I'm like, Sunfall. I'm like, Sunfall? And he's like, Spell Pierce? And I'm like, oh no. I'm so donkey.
Remember yesterday? Was it yesterday I said? I was like, I've watched so many people on this team live and die on the back of Spell Pierce.
And it's me dying so many times.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Common Ground Podcast, your favorite podcast where we talk about your favorite format and ours, Pauper. I am your host, Cameron Schindler, as always, joined by the lovely, sometimes wears eyeliner, Thomas Gunn. How are you doing?
Yo, what's up? I'm doing good.
Dope. That was topical.
Yeah.
And then
y'all won't hear it, but it was topical.
Then always joined as also always. Oh.
Crushing it. Keep going. Power through.
I butcher your intros.
Power through.
James Hippo Hieronymus. How you doing, buddy?
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
I'm just gonna look up Hippo facts and I'll just introduce you to Hippo fact every week now instead of whatever mess that was. But this is our 10th episode anniversary.
We did it.
Oh,
Hey,
we should.
I should tell you something that I was told today, that it is almost a joke at this point that you can't remember what episode it is every single week.
You better. He said that to me.
No, we had
multiple people have said it.
Yeah, I was told today by one of our local players, Jay. There, you get your shout out now. That he finds it very funny that you can never remember what episode it is until it's the 10th one, because
take that, Jay, and you bet on my life I'll remember next episode number 2.
I would lose mad respect for you if you didn't remember next episode.
But today we're doing some kind of cutesy since it's our anniversary. We're just gonna go
we remembered
just like a little cheeky top 10 list. We each made a top 10 list of Pauper. I think Gunn and I did ours. I'll let Gunn speak for himself. I did mine based on power and its impact on the Pauper format. Gunn, how did you do yours?
Mine's roughly the same. I leaned a little bit more into power and the idea of best, but definitely there's some role players here and there for sure.
Awesome. What about you, Hippo? How'd you make your list?
I chose 10 Pauper cards that are probably my favorite cards that I've played across the format. Not necessarily based on power level. Some of them are very powerful, but
I'm sure they will be.
Some of them are.
All right, should we just jump headfirst into it with number 10?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, on my number 10, I have Thorn of the Black Rose and Avenging Hunter. Just because these are just the de facto control finishers. As a Garden's main, you clear the board, slam one of these, and let that emblem take you to victory. Nothing else more to say there.
Hell yeah. No, that's a good choice. My number 10, before I do my number 10, I have a quick honorable mention of Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual is an extremely powerful card. It doesn't super have a shell right now outside of like Cycling Storm, and maybe there's some fast initiative or Monarch deck that can still pop up, but with the control decks running around and Gardens running around, it feels a little unlikely. You also have to keep up with there's a lot of factors in the format right now where I don't think a Dark Ritual deck super fits in, but when it's good, it's extremely good, and it's extremely powerful.
It has been very busted in the past. I will be very surprised if it's not busted at some point within 5 years. Again.
Absolutely.
What about you, Hippo, on your 10?
Wait, no, that was my honorable mention.
I'm sorry. You lost it.
That's it. Now you have 11. No, my number 10 is Weather the Storm. 1 in a green, instant. You gain 3 life. Storm. This is the only green card on my list. It is a card that not only has allowed certain archetypes to literally form around, like Turbo Fog deck, it gives decks a hard backstop against the aggressive decks in the format and makes it so that those decks don't just run everyone over. It's super, super powerful. You have to respect it as the aggro player. I thought a long time. I had like 30 different cards on a sheet of paper, and I was like, you know what I'm forgetting? Like one of the most like, as much as it's like a sideboard card, it's really the only. It's one. I guess there's more sideboard cards on my list, but it's like the really true sideboard card on my list, and I think that it's absolutely a defining feature of the format. Like it's like the last Storm card left, and it's still really, really good, and it does its job really well.
You know it's really good.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, you know it's really good when on our burn episode we had earlier, where it's a mono red episode. We talked about this green card for 30 minutes. Yes. It took over the episode.
Yeah, I mean, so having something like that as an aggressive player, you have to understand your position against it. So understanding how to play around that card, I can see why you enjoy it being around in the format. Makes your job harder, but makes it more fun, more thought provoking.
I don't think Gunn would care if this took a ban.
No, if it got banned, great, awesome. But okay, you know. It is what it is. Let's move on.
Mine are in no particular order until number 1.
I'm excited for that.
Mine are in no particular order until number 1. So we'll start with Basilisk Gate, a card that literally formed an entire archetype around it.
What archetype?
We're gonna go with the Gates, the Gates archetype. It's just a super powerful finisher. It makes all your derpy little dudes into like gigantic, massive threats. It's a card that like you can't just let it sit around and do its thing until you're just gonna die against it. Card's super cool though.
I love Basilisk Gate.
It's very sweet.
Holly and I played some Pauper this weekend, and she was playing Borosynth, and I was playing the Gates deck, and it's a fun deck. It's just. Again, Brainstorm and putting back Squadron Hawks and playing a Squadron Hawk is a drug. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
Yep, I would agree. All right, so you're number 9.
Number 9, I have Tolarian Terror. It's just a 1-mana 5/5 with Ward 2. It's not better Gurmag Angler, but it's up there of Gurmag Angler now, and it's just this tempo.
I would say it's better.
Yeah, I would.
I would also say it's just better.
That's next out of your graveyard. I didn't want to hurt the Gurmag Angler fans.
No, that's okay.
There. But
they've had plenty of time.
Yeah.
It's true.
It spawns so many archetypes called Terror, and you can pair with any color except for green almost and white, but I'm sure you could. And it's just your de facto. It could be a control finisher. You could try to speed them out with mental notes and stuff and thought scours and put 3 terrors in the play, or you just control a board then play a terror.
Now you've challenged me to play Bant Terror.
Oh, please do. That would be really cool. All right, this weekend at our Pauper Locals, Hippo's playing Bant Terror.
That is not happening.
And that's Terror. What about you?
Sick. My number 9 is Lightning Bolt. Red instant, deal 3 to any target. It's one of the oldest cards in the format. It is an all-star. It does exactly what you need it to do, and it's just really powerful. Plays in a bunch of decks. It's one of the strongest cards of all time, potentially, like we said, maybe one of the most played cards of all time. And it really gets to shine in the format. It's pretty sick.
I had it as number 10 for me, and I bumped it out for Thorn the Avenging Hunter, just from like a replaceability factor, because like you have the Scruds and.
That's fair.
But man, thinking about it, that card is just. There's nothing that efficient.
No.
There really isn't.
I bet you'll also never guess what's on my list. I also have Lightning Bolt on my list.
Let's go.
So I don't get to cast Lightning Bolt in a lot of other formats. This is the one where I do. It is very fun. It's obviously, as we just mentioned, one of the most efficient cards ever printed on rate, ever, period, point blank. It's been gone over ad nauseum. But, so yeah, there's not much to say about it. It's just one of the best.
Beautiful card. Beautiful card. Number 8, back to me already. You guys are speedy. I have the Land Cyclers, and the 2 that popped in my mind are Lorien Revealed and Troll of Khazad-dûn. These cards really shaped Pauper in a different way when they were released. We have talked about these cards a lot when we talked about our year in review episode, but again, an evolving wilds with so much upside is insane, and Tolarian Terror, Lorien Reveal adds to your count. It's an extra land. You can trim on lands now. But Troll can go find a swamp, a witch's cottage, and I can put it back on top if you just want to do a cute little loop there.
Yeah, that's sick.
It can fix your mana by like we have the dual lands that come into play tapped, which Pauper is for the most part slow enough where you can take a turn and do that. Just insane cards.
Yeah, they're sick. Troll especially, and Lorien Revealed especially too.
And Eagles of the North, just crazy.
Yeah. Eagles in the North is busted. I want to make a deck that takes advantage of that thing.
Do it.
My number 8 is Brainstorm.
Bant Terror, you can play it.
Let's we'll come back to that one. My number 8 is Brainstorm. Blue mana for the instant, draw 3, then put 2 cards from your hand back on top of your library. Again, it's just one of the strongest cards ever printed of all time. Legacy staple. It's super busted. It shows up in a bunch of decks. It's in basically all of the blue decks. Because it is simply the best at what it does. You can play a lot of tricks with it. You can set up Delver. You can dodge hand disruption. You can do so much with Brainstorm. I think everyone listening who has ever seen a Brainstorm understands it's on the list.
Again, Holly and I were playing, like I said earlier, we're playing Coggates versus Boros Synthesizer, and I gotta do all the cool Brainstorm stuff. And she said, "My deck looks really easy to play." And I said, "When you resolve your first Brainstorm." Like, I remember when I played Legacy for the first time, I had a fetch land out and I played a Brainstorm. I sat there for like 3 minutes thinking, like, this is hard. It didn't make my list just because it's not as free as in, like, it would be in Modern or Legacy where you have the fetch lands. But it's still
it was on the
powerful.
bubble for me in that way. But I think it's just too powerful to not include.
It's so good. Like, there's still a lot of ways to take advantage of it. There's like the Ash Barons, the Cyclers that we just mentioned, and still amazing card. Any thoughts on Brainstorm, Hippo?
As someone who used to be a Brainstorm gamer in Legacy, that card is incredibly difficult to resolve, but very rewarding as well. It is absolutely one of the most powerful cards printed that's available to play in Pauper. I would agree. And for my number 8,
yeah.
we're gonna bounce around on my list because my list is not in any particular order. I'm gonna go with Desert.
Ooh.
I was not expecting.
How dare
Desert.
You laugh at this man?
No, it's cool.
All right, for those unfamiliar with Desert, it is a land.
This is a good one to explain.
This is a cool one. This is probably the oldest land that's not a basic land on this or in Pauper that's a playable card at all. So it's a land that taps for a colorless, and it also has the ability that at the end of combat, deal 1 damage to a creature that attacked this turn. At the end of combat. It has to be the end of combat step.
Not second main phase.
Not second main phase. It has to be the end of combat step.
Also, oldest playable card, Bolt, counterspell.
I just said land.
Oh, land.
I said oldest playable land in the format. That's not a basic.
Agreed.
Cool. Yeah. So the card really only sees play in like exactly one deck, which is the Turbo Fog deck. But it was definitely one of the reasons why when I first eyeballed that deck, I was like, I want to play Desert so bad because this card is so cool. So the cool trick you can do is you can fog them. They've attacked, you fog them, and still at the end of combat, even after the creature is dealt no damage, you're able to deal damage to the creature with the Desert. It's really cool.
You ranched me when I was playing Fairies and you were playing that deck.
Yeah, it kills a bunch of X1s. Very good.
That's half
also
my
it's
deck.
at some point, and also at some point you can start using multiple Deserts on one creature, and it's just like, oh, it's just a dead X3 or a dead X4, depending on how long the game want to go.
Sick card.
Yeah, super sweet card.
Number 7, I have Cast Down. This kind of became the staple black removal spell because it says destroy a target non-legendary creature. In Pauper, you can register legendary creatures in your deck, which could blank my cast downs, but I think I'm going to win that game regardless. There are no good legendary creatures in Pauper. So in this format, it just says destroy target creature. And for 2 mana in Pauper is a little slower. That fits the speed perfectly fine. It's just clean. Really, really good. Gets you out of the pickle.
I think this is probably one of my favorite downshifts over the last probably 2 years or so.
One of Masters, right?
Something around that, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I believe this is probably one of the most needed because it's just a clean answer. It answers anything aside from like what exactly Guardian of the Guild pack, pretty much.
You know what's funny? We were just talking about foreign cards before and how I'm not the biggest fan of them. I do own Russian foil cast down promos, FNM promos. And so I have told people, they're like, what does that do? I'm like, it kills your creature. Just trust me. Any creature. Does not matter.
I never want to hear you complain about my Japanese cards ever again.
I'm a dirty hypocrite. I know. God, what do you got for 7?
Number 7, my number 7 is Thorn of the Black Rose, and which Cameron had mentioned earlier. 3 and a black for the 1/3 with Death Touch. When it ETBs, you become the Monarch. You can also slot in the initiative creature, the Avenging Hunter, any of the other Monarch creatures into this spot. Just having these creatures that give you that source of free value over the course of a long game is just the really, really, really strong value engine for the decks that utilize them. And it's also something that is, at least especially for Monarch, is super unique to being such a player in this format. I know there are initiative decks in Legacy that get to abuse the initiative in that format with other cards. But I think the Monarch especially, you really, outside of Commander, you really get this highlighted here in Pauper. I think that's really, really strong.
And I think we've said this before in the past, but it's really worth mentioning again. In these control decks that just try to control the board, and once everything's low resource, slam the initiative or Monarch, you do not care if in response they kill it, because you are the Monarch, you have the initiative. They can't take that from you if you set up the board correctly. Any other thoughts on that, Hippo?
I think you both have mentioned the creature. I have very, very similar thoughts. Spoiler alert, that card is not on my list, but it is a very powerful card. And is it is an interesting end game style card, like those initiative Monarch cards. I think they are currently okay and healthy in the format. I don't think they're overpowering necessarily. There's like one good deck or like one or two good decks that play them, and that's about it. Which is, I think, exactly where you want it to be.
I agree. It's not running rampant.
No, it's not running rampant. I think it's exactly at the rate of across the format which you want to see, something like that. All right. My next card on my list is going to be Thraben Inspector.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm sure I've talked about this card enough, but it's single white for a 1/2 creature. When it enters the battlefield, investigate. Investigate is make a clue, which is an artifact that says pay 2, sacrifice it, and draw a card.
Pretty good.
Value.
Yeah. I have been a huge fan of Thraben Inspector across multiple formats, not just Pauper. Absolutely one of my, if you had to ask me, probably one of my signature spellbook cards, this is probably in there. I've put this card into play a lot across a lot of formats. I love this card.
It's one of those creatures that's really unique because it can fit in an aggro shell and a control shell. Just because in control late game, if you top deck it, you can just pay 2 and cycle it away, basically. Or pay 3 and draw a card and stuff a body in the board. So really, really, really unique creature. Not so much unique anymore, but
because we're getting the Novice Inspector.
Yeah,
we have the Novice Inspector now.
Yeah, it's all legal now.
It is legal now.
Number 6, I have Counter Spell. 1 blue, 2 mana, counter target spell. Beautiful.
2, 1.
How about blue
counter target spell for 2 mana? It's so clean. It's the baseline. I see a lot, like, when spoiler seasons happen, people ask, like, if this card's playable, and they'll, like, have, like, some, like, mana leak variant. It's like, well, we have Counterspell. Right. It's really, really hard to beat out, like, Counterspell.
What's the new one from Murders? The 1 in a blue, counter unless you pay 2, suspect something.
Yeah.
That card. And it's like, but we have Counterspell.
Yeah, like, I think I don't even know if we have mana leak or not.
Yeah, we have mana leak too.
We not see play at all.
Yeah.
0 play.
Not really.
Counterspell.
Yeah. You could play mana leak, and I'm sure there are decks that would want, like, for color purposes, would want it over Counterspell, but I haven't seen them in lists.
The last time I saw a mana leak in a Pauper deck was some really cool mid-rangey shell.
Was it Bant Terror?
It was not Bant Terror. This is actually, no, I guess this is post Terror, but it was just kind of like this really mid-rangey deck that tried to, like, kind of ramp up the game with, like, a Boreal Grazer moving into some of the green and white initiative creatures. It was kind of really cool, cool strategy. You also had, I think there was a Merchant Scroll package in the deck. It was really cool.
Put 2+++ counters on my Grazer. Attack for 2. Here's my 2/5.
Here's my 2/5 with reach.
Yeah.
That kills a Delver.
It kills that eats Delvers all day.
It does. All right. think you're next.
My number 6 is Lorien Revealed. I thought about putting all of the Lord of the Rings cyclers together like you did, Cameron. But then after thinking about it, I was like, I think Lorien Revealed is just way better than the others. And I think that as much as Troll is also very good, the other 3 see like a little bit of play. Then Troll is definitely in second place, but I think Lorien Revealed takes the cake in terms of how many decks it's played and just the effect that it does. It has single-handedly boosted Terror since its printing, in that it's a 1-mana draw card, make your Terror 1 cheaper, or just 5-mana draw 3 in the late game. This card is insane. It's busted in multiple formats. It's really, really strong. It's a good card.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Us now.
And I have a foil Pro Tour stamped one, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet. All right. Again, some of my options are off the beaten path. My next one is a card called Holy Light.
Ooh, what does Holy Light do?
Cameron is giving me this look of...
I know what Holy Light is.
Why, did you get wrecked by it sometime?
No, it's just a weird. It has weird
It's
art.
It's really weird art.
I'm genuinely curious. I don't know what it does.
Okay, so
Breaks
it's a card
the color
it's a card printed in the dark. It's 2 and a white for an instant. It says all non-white creatures get -1/-1.
I think I have seen this card.
I was like, if so, it's probably from me.
Yes.
I was like, I imagine so. I love getting basically any excuse to play this card. I have registered this card in Legacy because it used to kill Trinity Nemesis cleanly.
Yep.
That's death and taxes. You had to do what you had to do. That was a nice way to do that. But yeah, the card is super cool. It's a really, really oddly designed card. That's not an effect that white gets, obviously. Mm-hmm. So, but obviously they've not really revisited this idea because it is very old. The dark was 94.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
and that was like the black theme Magic set. And
yeah.
So that's why you see these color breaking cards in that set.
Yep. But yeah, I think the card's super cool. It's a card I like to play, and that's why it's on my list.
What do you bring in against in Pauper nowadays?
I would probably, whatever matchup you would bring, something like Suffocating Fumes is my guess. Fairies mono red, basically the 2 decks, or like elves if you have elves in your metagame.
Your Bant Terror deck's gonna be crazy.
Holy Light, sweet card. Registered if you get the chance. It's a cool one.
Number 5, I had Basilisk Gate as well. The only thing I wanted to add to that is it's really cool because you get it, like you said, it's your late game finisher. All your creatures become threats, so you start playing these creatures that are more than one creature. Sacred Cat, once it dies, you can embalm it for 1, and it's another kitty cat. Squadron Hawk just replaces itself. You pick them up, and that whole deck gets to load itself with Squadron Hawk tricks like Brainstorm and stuff. I love this card. I remember you and I, Hippo, we loved like the soupy gates. So did our friend Drew. We love that stuff. I love it in my Peasant Cube too. Just this, I'm very fond of this card. I might be a little biased, but that's okay.
This card's just very good. It's a pillar of the format.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
My number 5 are the Red and Blue Blasts. This is Red Elemental Blast, Blue Elemental Blast, Pyroblast, and Hydroblast. They're all 1-mana instants of either blue or red, and they counter a spell or destroy a permanent of the other of that color. This has got to be just the most efficient sideboard card in the format, like either of them. And I think it's really cool that you see some of this in Legacy. I think you saw more of it in Legacy in like the 2014 to 2019 era, when like Delver was almost always the top of the format, and it looked a lot different than Delver looks like now. But you see this in Pauper, where we have like a mono blue like control deck in Terror, and we have the mono red aggro deck, and you don't really see this like classic blue versus red dichotomy in like really. Yeah, James is holding up 4 Hydroblasts and 4 Pyroblasts pulled out of his Ephemerate sideboard just now that he has on hand in the studio. They're really good. They're super efficient. I'm always packing 4 red blasts when I'm playing Burn. I know that when I was playing Terror, I was packing 4 blue blasts. Like, it's easily one of the strongest cards in the format, and just immediately defines sideboards. Do you have an answer for the blue decks? Do you have an answer for the red decks? Just boom.
This is one of the most Pauper defining cards, I think. It feels, it's so cool when you play a deck like Is It Terror or another Is It deck or Gates deck. and your sideboard is just like 8 of these effects.
8 blasts, 4 of each. And then something that kills artifacts, I guess.
Yeah, it's something. Woo! Maybe a relic.
And a couple
or 2.
relics. Yeah.
Pauper is everybody's number 1 relic.
Yeah. I almost put relic on my list.
Relic actually was
really
the last card
almost
to
put
make it off my list.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
almost
almost
put it
put
on my
relic on
list.
my list. I really almost did.
That's just such a sad card to put on your top 10.
I thought it was a very close contender for me until I remembered that like a couple of these other cards existed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My next one is a house favorite. We're going to go with Experimental Synthesizer.
Let's go.
So, to rehash what it does, single red for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield, exile the top card of your library and you may play it till the end of turn. And you may pay 2 and a red to sacrifice the Experimental Synthesizer to make a 2/2 white samurai with vigilance. I think we have talked at extreme lengths about this card. This card is very good.
It's busted.
It's very, very strong. I don't know how much more we can really go on about it. It's
best friend's Glint Hawk, because Glint Hawk says when it enters battlefield, return an artifact to your hand, happily return the synthesizer, trigger.
Thomas
best friends with Kuldotha Rebirth.
Thomas now gets to sacrifice
like
it to
clubs.
Thomas.
Demand answers.
Yeah, I was gonna say Thomas gets to sack it to demand answers now.
I hope to do that.
It can be like a secretly tricky card to play. I have seen like people play it in like they'll play their land drop on like turn 2, and on turn 2 they'll play their land drop and then play it with 1 man open. And I think this is a card that you don't really want to play in curve, especially non-curve on turn 1. You want to play it. I never play it unless I'm in a desperate situation or I can cast anything in my deck I can hit off it.
Yeah, this is one of those cards that scales better as the game continues. Another card, not in Pauper necessarily, but that has this very similar equivalent to it is Expressive Iteration. A card like Expressive Iteration, for those who don't know, it's a blue and a red sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards, put 1 in your hand, 1 into exile, and 1 into the bottom of your library. Again, that card is going to scale better as the game goes longer. Same thing here. You get more mana the longer the game goes on. You have more uses of the synthesizer.
And I hate saying always, because Magic's just so like situational. There's never this is 100% right all the time. Like if I play synthesizer, I have a bunch of mana open, I hit a Core Skyfisher. Of course, I'm going to play the Core Skyfisher. I'm probably going to pick up the synthesizer again, even if I only have 1 mana open or something, just because that value is just so good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the card's extremely powerful. It's probably the best singular, outside of Lightning Bolt, probably this base singular best red card on its own.
Yeah, or Pyroblast.
Yeah, main deckable card.
Or Red Elemental Blast.
Main deckable card. Outside of exactly Lightning Bolt, I think this is the number 1.
Man, I guess we shouldn't say we haven't talked about it yet because we still have some cards to go.
Yeah, we have four left on the list, and you have not said 3 of my top 4, so I think they're also on your top 4. So I'm very excited to hear
we'll
what
probably
they are.
start overlapping.
Yeah.
Number 4, I have the dispute effects, so like deadly dispute effects. But
all the draw 2s.
Yeah, all the draw 2s. So Deadly Dispute is, I think, the original of this exact phrasing.
You could look back to stuff like Altar's Reap and like Village Rites kind of as,
but that's
like
only creature. So like the 3 I'm thinking about are,
right, a creature or artifact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's Deadly Dispute. What are the other 2's names?
Fanatical Offering,
yeah,
and Reckoner's Bargain.
Okay,
well, now we have Demand Answers.
Well, Demand Answers doesn't sack a creature, so it's a little different.
So
it's sack an artifact.
The first 3 are all 1 in a black for sacrifice an artifact or creature as additional cost to cast a spell, draw 2 cards, and they each do some little bonus, make a treasure, make a map, gain life. This is the de facto draw engine in Pauper. We hearken a lot that Pauper, you have to take this backwards route to get card advantage. Like you see these paired with Ichor Wellspring all the time, Olympus to shuffle it back in your deck. Like you make a garden token and you sack that garden token with it. That's why garden is playable. It's just very, very Pauper defining, and these cards I think have a soft spot in my heart because it's so fun. Carson always says in Special Recall when I sack an Ichor and draw 3. It's just, I don't know. I do know they're insane. They're really, really good. This is our draw engine in the format.
Yeah. Deadly Dispute is also my number 4. It's just busted draw engine. I specifically said Deadly Dispute. I agree with, you can also put the other two on this level, but I think if I was going to put them individually, I don't think those two would have made my top 10 list, but Deadly Dispute absolutely gets this spot because you're getting the mana back with that treasure. I think it's easily the best one.
Deadly Dispute makes the treasure. I agree. That is, you always see that as a 4 of, and the others as a split.
Yeah.
The ramp part on the dispute is definitely, I think, the best one. All right. My next one is going to be Crypt Rats.
Yeah.
So 2 and a black for a 1/1 rat. You may pay X, but you may only spend black mana on X. You may deal X damage to each creature and each player. Very simple, but a really cool card. I love this card. I've loved it for a very long time. It's been a card's been around forever since Visions, I believe, is the original printing. The card's super sweet. You can't tell me it's not a sweet card. Thomas got to almost watch me just like completely take someone from 20 to 0 by attacking with a Crypt Rat.
That had a counter on it.
And one
counter on it and just activating it.
We've all like been a part of a game too, where you're gonna win or you're gonna lose, and somebody activates Crypt Rats. And next game, let's go to the next. Like, you activate Crypt Rats, kill both players. You gotta play another game until the clock's out.
Yep.
It's a draw.
I watched this. I watched this occur.
It happened to you.
No, it didn't. That wasn't me.
When we played Pauper, you were playing Jeskai Affinity, and you played one of the Alabama people.
We didn't tie the game. That wasn't it.
Oh, JK, I thought they Crypt Rats you and tied the game.
Nope. There were the semifinals match.
Oh,
it wasn't you.
It
was Gardens against like this black white.
We watched the Alabama guy do that. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't against me. But you can. It gives the added bonus of being able to tie a game, which is that is basically one of the only cards.
Or the added bonus to win a game.
Or yes, that too. I think having the ability to draw a game if you need to.
I have stolen a game against Mono Red with it. Just like they fire blasted me, and I'm like, I was ahead of them on life.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, kill you? Question mark. Do you have a bolt? No. Cool.
Yeah.
That was my only option.
All right.
One thing about Crypt Rats too, putting a counter on it, especially with Fanatical Offering.
Or
is that the one that makes a map? Or is that? Yep, Fanatical Offering makes the map token, so you can start hidden for 1 or the initiative.
I think the one that's going to come up more often is the initiative.
The map tokens are pretty relevant now too.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty good with the Fanatical Offering.
Number 3. Let's see if Gunn and I start overlapping the rest of our list now. I have the Artifact lands. I combine the bridges, the original Mirrodin ones, just all of them. Especially the original Mirrodin ones. When you have cards like Frogmite and Mirror Enforcer that just say Affinity or Thoughtcast, that's probably the best one.
Galvanic Blast or...
Well, the Affinity cards, they become soul lands. Like, they tap for 2 mana, essentially, with that. Very, very busted. They enable all these synergies. You just said Galvanic Blast. The decks are very explosive. They can also play a very mid-range fair game, too. You can sack them the Deadly Dispute if you choose so. You can sack them the Makeshift Munitions on their end step and dome them for 6. Just extremely good, flexible lands. Any thoughts on them?
Yeah, they're a part of what the Pauper format is. I think that's part of the charm, honestly. It's the one format where those are like legal and good.
Mm-hmm. And like the PFPS talked about, like they said they discussed about banning them, but they just can't find themselves to do it, thankfully, because it is so much of Pauper's identity.
And it's been that way for as long as I've been playing as well. Like,
and they'll cause more bans, I'm sure.
Yeah. It definitely has that like cascading effect of this is forever going to have like a hold on a format. But again, it's part of the part of the charm, part of the history, and I don't think it's the brainstorm argument for like what Legacy players would have. They're like, well, it's by far and away the most powerful card in Legacy is Brainstorm, right? Mm-hmm. But you cannot bring yourself to get rid of it because it is just as like a part of what the format is, the identity of the format, and that's part of Pauper. Pauper is having the artifact lands. You get all of them, and they're all good.
Yeah, they're my number 3 as well for all of the exact same reasons. They're busted, and we get to play them here. They're a highlight, and we like them.
Wait, it's your number 3 too?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to laugh if our next two are no, one of them isn't.
Our number 2s are not the same.
Our number 2s are not the
You've
same.
already said my number 2.
You already said my number
2. My next one is one that has already
well,
been...
then we probably have the same number 1.
My next one has already been mentioned by my co-host, but Counterspell. I'm just going to get the classic Counterspell. I don't ever get to play Counterspell in any other format. This is the one where I do. It's a sweet card. I love casting Counterspell. It feels really good.
So clean.
Clean, nice,
broken.
efficient.
The Cave had a playset of beta counter spells. I was looking at him like, Rachel, how much are these? He's like, too much.
Yeah,
Too much.
that is
Correct.
correct.
Looks you dead in the eye.
Yeah, like not. I don't even remember how much they were, but it was ridiculous. And I saw Manguchi post on Instagram his Is It Terror or Is It Scred deck, and he had beta bolts, beta counter spells. So beautiful, such a flex. Are we on to number two?
You're number two,
I almost said
baby.
number one. I have the Blast.
Boom.
So Red Elemental, Blue Elemental Blast. This became number two for me. I think this is so like Pauper defining. You see in every sideboard, and that's almost like a problem they're trying to balance too, because like these just fill up the sideboard completely. You don't want your sideboard, especially if you're just an Is It deck, to be what you can play 8 of each, 16 blast effects, which is not allowed. This game Holly and I played this weekend just became so much more relevant than I thought it would be, but it was just a very, especially because she's newer to Pauper and she's actually like, she asked me to play more games. Like we played her match and she's like, want to play another one? I'm like, whoa, yeah, I do.
Let's go.
And we had like a very Pauper moment where I countered-spelled something of hers. I was playing Cogate, she was playing Synthesizer. She Red Elemental blasted mine. I dispelled it, and then she blasted it again.
Yes.
Let's
Go,
go.
Holly. Let's go.
That was just such a Pauper moment. And
Hell
I just
yeah.
looked at him like, oh, this is Pauper. Welcome to it. You know? It blast.
Yeah, Blaster are extremely good.
Blasts are good.
They're such efficient cards. Not a whole lot else to be said.
We already talked about
Yeah.
it, so I just wanted to add that story in there.
Hell yeah.
She's gonna be so happy when she listens, and that game got referenced 3 times.
This is a very formative moment.
It was
Yeah.
for me.
There you go.
Get good.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I know you are. My number 2 is Counterspell. It's just the hallmark of the blue decks. It is one of, if not the most powerful point of interaction you can play in the format. It again gets a huge highlight and spotlight here, where things like Cast Down is the best single target removal spell, arguably, and we have Lightning Bolt is your arguably best burn spell. Like you have all these really like efficient classic pieces, and this is Blue's piece of that puzzle, and it is just the best. Counterspell is just the best at what it does. It's been around forever, and it's here to stay. It's really good.
Counterspell.
All right.
The last before your number 1.
All right. For my number 2, this is my singular green card on my list. I have Kyrian Ranger.
Ooh, I like that choice.
I have Kyrian Ranger.
And over Avenging Hunter?
I said my favorite cards.
Oh, that's true.
I've mentioned it before. Elves is my favorite Pauper deck. That is, I have loved that deck
Period.
for a long time. I don't think it's necessarily very good, but it's my favorite deck to play. And Kyrian Ranger is absolutely one of the most busted cards you can play. It's so disgusting. For those who don't know what it does, it's a single green for a 1/1 elf. And it says you may return a forest to your hand to untap target creature. That's it. You're like, wow, what does that do? Well, I'll give you an example. For elves, there's a creature called Timberwatch Elf. 2 and a green for a 1/2. You can tap it, and target creature gets +X/+X, where X is equal to the number of elves in play. So you say you attack with a random dork elf, and then pump it with the Timberwatch, and then you use the Kyrian Ranger's ability to untap the Timberwatch elf and reactivate again. You just probably fireballed someone for 20.
And you would say, well, why wouldn't they just block? Well, you could swing with 6 elves and
Exactly.
they only have 5 blockers.
That's part of the charm of playing elves. Like, that's when you get to go wide, and you're just like, where do you want to block to die?
Yeah, one of these is getting
One of these is going to get through. One of these is going to get through, and I'm gonna dome you for your entire life total. Or other things you can do is make a ton of mana with like Priest of Titania. I also believe that the Walls deck plays this card. I
Yes,
think
it does.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So it's not just elves. Awesome. But yeah, I think this is like a super powerful card. Has a hard time seeing a ton of play because green is not necessarily the best color in Pauper, but I think it is an extremely powerful card if given the right shell.
It's on the short list of like, you have to kill this thing out of the elf stack. Like when I'm playing against it, I'm like, I have to kill that thing right now.
Yeah,
Otherwise, like even just like if you're short on lands, you even just like do the land thing, untap, replay.
Yeah,
and,
I can just I can make a land drop that I don't have.
exactly,
Which is super sweet. Yeah, the card
like,
is
like the Glinthawk artifact land thing. It's same concept.
No, love it. And I would love to pass it on to Cameron for his number one card.
Right. Number one, I have Golgari Gardens. It's just so versatile. No, that's not my number one. As much as I want it to be, I don't want to play the format with Golgari Gardens. Is the best, most.
Are you sure? I don't know.
I am sure. As much as I love that card, but my actual number one is Experimental Synthesizer.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh my gosh, when we first got together and said, yo, let's start a Pauper podcast, we all three were good friends. We love Pauper so much equally. Really brought us together as good, close friends. Our first episode where brainstorming was like, should we just talk about Experimental Synthesizer? Just the whole episode.
Yeah, it's on the back. Been on the back burner for a while.
I believe that was kind of the idea that sparked it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
The card is just so good. You get into these cool loops where it's, man, I'm top decking. I'll play Experimental Synthesizer, hit a Glinthawk, sick, hit that over. If you're playing mono red, me picking it up, hit Rinse Resolve, hit 2 more. Oh, one of those is a synthesizer again? Let's go. I guess mono red's not playing.
Sack it to your Cold the Rebirth. Flip another card. Like,
hey, it's Core Skyfisher. It's
flip a Mirror Enforcer when you have 7 artifacts in play. Just play it for free.
It is so good, so versatile. It can sack itself, which is super relevant. Like they come in every time.
I've done it more times than anyone else.
But every time
No,
you
that's not
sack
true.
yourself, every time I sack it to itself, it always flips over a Glinthawk, and that sucks a little bit. But just an amazing card. I love it. It plays so differently, or similarly, I guess, but a little different in all these shells. It's in vastly different shells like Borosynth, Mono Red, the Affinity decks. All take advantage of this, paired often with Glinthawks and stuff. But what do you got to add? You said it's your number one too?
It is also my number one.
Let's
go. It's a busted card. When we got Reckless Impulse in Crimson Vow, like the set before this in Neon Dynasty, it was very clear that Red having access to a more reliable source of this impulse draw effect was very strong. And then the very next set, they gave it to us. They gave us 1 impulse draw strapped to a 1-mana artifact that could do it when it enters. Well, technically, they still gave us 2. They gave us 2 cards because it's when it enters and it leaves. But they did it for 1 mana on an artifact in Pauper, where we love that.
And it's red.
And it's red.
Red's really good.
And it has its own buyout. This card is absolutely nuts. When you listen to like draft podcasts and they pick out a comment, it's like, guys, I don't know, this thing might be really, really busted. That's when you think, maybe it has some applications in Pauper. And this one absolutely delivered. And it has seen play. It's easily in the top 5 to 10 most played cards in like every challenge. Part of that is because a lot of the meta percentage will be the red decks, but it's also because it's just probably the one of, if not the best card advantage engines in the entire format.
So good.
Yeah, I had it earlier on my list. I agree. Yep. Card is broken.
What's Hippo's number one?
All
so
right.
This is your favorite.
Your favorite card.
All right, my favorite card. This is actually the card that got me to love the format as a whole. When I very first started playing Pauper, however long ago that may be, is the card Core Skyfisher.
Oh, so close. I just looked at God. I said, it's Glinthawk.
Nope.
Close.
Core Skyfisher has more applications than just Glinthawk does.
Core Fisher.
You can never remember the name of this card. Yeah, Core Skyfisher, for those who do not know, it is 1 and a white for a 2/3 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you must return another permanent you control to your hand. So
what permanents could you possibly choose from?
Synthesizer.
I know. Yes, you can. You can in fact return synthesizer. That's part of the charm of the Borosynth deck. Is you get to return synthesizer. In old Pauper, you used to get to return like Muldrifters and Prophetic Prisms and stuff like that. Was like my introduction to it. I was like, man, this is so sweet, and it's a 2/3 flyer, which is like a very good stat line. It still is. A 2/3 flyer in this format is still very good.
Oh yeah, it gets over. Like especially.
Yeah. Also, I know you've mentioned it before, and or something I taught you was the making a land drop with it. Like you get to make your own land, you miss land drop, so you get to play it and replay it, and then you get to play like a 1-drop after it. It's pretty sweet. Or you get to, you can say, we picked up synthesizers, we pick up
Tithing
blades now, and all this other
Olympus.
stuff. Yeah, there's so many applications this card has. It's such a sweet card. It is, you can say, it is my absolutely favorite card in the format by far.
It attacks super well. It, like, especially when Fairies was bigger than it is now, it blocks super well. It was hard for that deck to get through that. I love that card. It a little sad it make my list. It's just, yeah.
No, I again understand. I just like this is exact. My list is some of my favorite cards in the format, and some of them just happen to be very powerful.
I think
True.
Core Skyfisher is probably my favorite creature in this format.
Yeah, it's such a cool creature.
Or 0/1 plant token actually might be my favorite creature.
They banned my favorite creature.
Was it Synth or was it Swiftspear?
Yeah.
What a lame favorite. But they downshifted Soul Scar Mage.
From rare to common.
Rare to I don't know.
Well, they've done worse.
I'm not a Soul Scar mage.
They've done worse. So
A card we didn't mention, I was surprised, was Galvanic Blast too.
I think it's a little too situational to be on one of these top 10 lists. I had Cold Author Rebirth on my list for a long time, and then
I
got
think
beat
you
up
could
by Brainstorm.
argue Galvanic Blast is better than Lightning Bolt.
I will tell you that my Ephemerate deck does not want to play Galvanic Blast.
Okay,
It does
that's
want to play
fair.
Lightning Bolt.
That's fair. Okay, should
Yeah,
we
the
move
control
into
decks.
challenges?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna go potty.
All right, cool. I'm gonna get some water. Just keep it recording. All right. Do you want to intro?
I got you this
the,
time.
yeah, you want to intro this event?
Yeah. All right. So next up, we've got the. What is it called?
Okay.
Go ahead,
Volunteers for intro. Absolutely pumped it.
I forgot what it was called. Okay. All right. Redo. All right. Next up, we are going to go over some results for the weekend. And first up, we're going to talk about this really big Pauper tournament that happened down in Brazil. It's called the Next Level Pauper Tour.
Hell yeah.
Had 106 players. That's a nice...
That's a hefty amount of players in it.
The same weekend as Brazil's regional championship as well.
So it probably could have been bigger.
Yeah, potentially could have been bigger. We have
Do you want to do top 16 or you want to do top 8?
We'll do top 8. We'll do a quick run through of the top 8, and a couple notes that I think are actually kind of funny.
Okay.
Your top 8 in 8th place, Forge Red on Gardens. In 7th place, Shadowwater 0. It looks like they allowed people to put in their screen names as well as their regular names. 7th place, Shadowwater 0 on Blue-White Familiars. In 6th place, Daniel Kaizeta, also on Familiars. In 5th place, Dorini on Gardens. In 4th place, Abinadabi on Blue-Black Fairies. In 3rd place, Ryuk 1 on Gardens. I want to note that they listed their deck I think they have the deck names as the players listed them, and the Ryuk 1 listed Gardens as black green 5 turns, as I'm sure a reference to going to time every round.
That's awesome.
Which is amazing.
That's really good.
In 2nd place, Juan Gaston on Altertron. And in 1st place, Alessandro Queiroz on Blue Black Terror. You all want to highlight anything here?
Garden showed up, and it did really well.
Yeah.
As it has been doing in these recent bigger Pauper tournaments and challenges and stuff.
Yeah, I would agree. Nothing super notable inside any of them. There's some interesting card choices, like numbers of cards, like in main decks and sideboards, but nothing like super breakout either.
I've noticed, I think it was, how many Gardens was it in top 8? Was it 2?
3.
Okay. Or 3. So 2 of the 3 played 4 Troublemaker oofs in the sideboard.
Yep.
So the 2 mana 2/2 with bargain, and when it enters a battlefield, exile target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls. So playing that over the
Glamour.
Thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue.
It's just a body.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically the same thing.
Yeah, you have a garden to sacrifice it, and you have all your artifact trinkets and stuff. That was the main thing that kind of caught my eye.
Yeah, that was like the one like cool sideboard card.
Because I haven't tested that card out yet.
Just gotta have some disenchant in your board for
for sure,
Gardens.
100%.
Yeah, it looks like the Alter Tron list. Looks like the Tron lists are all picking up Candy Trail. It's pretty good. You can cast it with one tower and cast it and sack it all in one with a tower and kind of do the thing that way.
So the idea behind this card, and I'm going to use some other content that I've seen. The idea with this one is that it just looks at more cards. You get to physically see more cards, and you get to decide whether it basically is your copy of Preordain.
Yeah, that tracks.
Which is cool. I know I've watched a lot of I've mentioned before. Cali Kai's play a lot of Altertron, and I know he prefers having Candy Trail as like his 1-mana trinket artifact.
And the second highest Gardens deck by Dorini, they had 3 Guildsworn Prowlers in the main deck. Kind of a card you saw a little bit in it, and most people moved away for it. It's 1 in a black for a Tiefling Rogue Assassin, 2/1 Death Touch. When it dies, if it wasn't blocking, draw a card. So almost like a Ichor Wellspring effect. And I think they are no Ichor Wellspring, so I think they just replaced their Ichor Wellsprings with this card.
Yeah, having a body with a Death Touch body for that blocks profitably. Yeah.
And you get on the board a little bit quicker
with
with a body. Yeah. Is nice. And they also had a cool Okuba Gang Shinobi in the sideboard, which seems a little wild to me in Gardens.
Yeah, with not having that many creatures, it seems kind of weird. I guess people
swing with the plant.
I was like, I guess a lot of people will that.
You blocking that? I'm not blocking the plant. If someone swings at me, I'd be like, ha, 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 funny, I'll take 0. No, you're going to discard 2 cards, actually.
I guess
probably good if you have Death Touch creatures.
I was like, I guess the idea, there's that. I guess the idea is that like people tend to probably board out the people are going to board out lots of copies of removal spells against the Guards deck because there are not very many, obviously, creatures for them to remove. So I guess this is a good one if you really just like want to stick a creature that's like gonna just shred their hand into, and it's not gonna die. So yeah, seems pretty good.
Cool.
In 9th place, we had an Orzhov Blade deck. We've been highlighting that deck, so just barely missing top 8, probably
on Breakers if I had to guess.
A Breakers away or 1 match away, so like a very good representation from that. And this is just the stock list we're starting to see with the 4 Hopeless Nightmares and stuff. I know some people don't like the Hopeless Nightmare in this deck, but I think it gives you a good axis to fight on, especially with if you do turn 1 this, turn 2 Core Skyfisher. And I have lost a game where someone kept 3 Hopeless Nightmares against me and no creatures and 1 land, and they demolished me. I was playing Gardens, so obviously they had the time.
So they shred your hand into. There's a cool card in the sideboard I do want to talk about. It's called Honorable Scout. For those who do not know, Honorable Scout is a 1/1 for a single white. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life for each black and or red creature target opponent controls.
Ooh.
You're definitely not going to be losing just some aggressive decks with that card.
No.
I know there was a while where in our local scene where there was a lot of mono red, including our one and only beautiful Mr. Gunn, that we were trying to come up with what was the best sideboard cards we could come up with for that matchup, and this was a card that I know I personally registered at least once, and then I believe our buddy Drew also registered in the same weekend.
I registered too.
Oh, I'm sorry. You also registered as well. So yeah, there was a bunch of people that were gunning for the gunning for the gun.
When I was playing the Orzhov Blink deck,
the like
goes Ephemerate
goes like bigger with like Goliath Paladin.
I played. Yep. Excuse me. I played 3 of those in my sideboard because that's when Kadoltha was super popular and kind of it's starting to reach the height of its power. Then someone was playing some cool fringe like token go wide deck, and they were an innocent bystander. Me looping this.
R.I.P.
Shall we move on to our challenges?
Yes, of course.
I believe
cool.
so.
All
Congratulations to everyone who did well in that paper
yeah,
event too.
That's sick to see awesome big paper events going down. We're gonna kind of breeze through these. We got 3 challenges to get through before we get y'all out of here. But if you're chilling, we're chilling. So here we go. Top 8 of our first challenge. This is on February 3rd.
Are the new cards legal from?
They were not.
They were not
okay.
on Magic
Okay,
Online quite yet. They are all on Magic Online as of today. We're recording on the 6th.
But we get to have our monthly locals and have all the new cards available.
Yes, we do. Well, as many as we can find.
That's
anyway.
True.
I'm going to see if I can dig some up at F&M if I go. All right. This is Friday the 3rd. This is the challenge, so probably the evening challenge, afternoon or evening. In 8th place, Mr. Asiago on Goblin Combo / Mogwarts. 7th place, Ritual Sinkhole on Turbo Fog.
Ding, ding, ding.
In 6th place, Shatun on Monored Koldatha. In 5th place, Vidagain on Glitter's Affinity. In 4th place, I Am MVP on Jeskai Ephemerate. In 3rd place, Alienware on Is It Terror. In 2nd place, Kirblinxy on Dredge. And in 1st place, O Danielakos, with a 9-1 record with Blue Black Terror. What is up with this Dredge list, fam?
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this. Okay. This list popped up probably a little over a month ago.
I think it was about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
However long it was, I immediately saw this list and sent it to the both of you. And I was like, this list looks so sweet. It's very cool. So the idea here is that you get to have a bunch of these dinky creatures in your deck that naturally fill up the graveyard, like Satyr Wayfinder and like Scrapwork Mutt. And the idea is to get the Stinkweed Imp, as it is the most powerful Dredge card that we have available left in Pauper. And you want to dump over all the cards in your deck into the graveyard and resolve a single lotless troll. And usually that's enough to just dome your opponent for their entire life total. But you get to do some cool things on the way, like a card called Acorn Harvest. You also have the like backup Exhume package with like Generous Int and Troll of Khazad-dûm.
Yeah.
So you can do the cool Exhume thing. You also have Knot of the Bone as your like anti-aggro card in your main deck, which you can just naturally dump over with a lot of those other cards I just previously mentioned. Yeah, this deck's super sweet. Also has like a really cool sideboard plan of being able to bring in all these like Flaring Pains to beat like Fog and things like that.
Well, my favorite thing about this deck too is every single one of your sideboard cards have flashback. So if you're milling or dredging over your sideboard cards, they're all usable. You have 4 copies of Ancient Grudge to beat those.
3 in this list, but yeah.
Oh
no, they're
4.
separated. Sorry, they're separated by printing for some reason. There are 4. Sorry.
So you beat the relics and stuff and not worry, or you still worry about them, but have a chance against Relic and Frigidus mainly.
Cameron, if you don't mind, linking the fine folks that listen to this to the video from this person. They actually posted their video.
No, not at all. Just send me the
I can
thingy,
send
for sure.
Cool. I think you all might want to like watch this deck because it's very cool.
No, I'm gonna watch it. I watched the mono red one you sent me too. That was really fun.
This deck is super super sweet. And
Hell yeah.
I believe they split the finals with the Dimir Terror deck.
I believe that's the case.
Cool.
And
Yeah, sick top 8. Looks 8 different decks. You love to see it.
We do love to see that.
Plus a Walls combo in 9th, Flickertron in 10th, Grixis Affinity in 11th. Like, look at this
it was
diversity.
pretty different. Yeah, because we haven't seen Goblin Combo in a minute too, so that's cool. That's sitting up there. And on to the next one.
Let's do it. Oh, I dragged the wrong tab. Here we go. All right, Pauper Challenge. This is the larger 64 challenge. This is Saturday, February 4th. In 8th place, Ritual Sinkhole with the back-to-back top 8s on Turbo Fog. In 7th place, Fair MTG on Rakdos Madness. What? In 6th place, Las Vegas Chaos on Blue-White Glitter's Affinity. In 5th place, Like a Pharaoh on Mono-Red Koldatha. In 4th place, Echo Baronin on Mono-Red Koldatha. In 3rd place, Baiko Degea on Blue-Black Fairies. In 2nd place, Noob on Boros Synth. And in 1st place, sorry. Sisio Gire. It's probably Sisio Gire or something like that. I'm so sorry. On Jeskai Ephemerate. Is this Jeskai Ephemerate list that you are working off of, James?
So mine is 1 card different in the main and 1 card different in the board.
Okay.
But yes, this is the list I based mine off of.
Sick.
That I brought with me today.
So, Gunn, I asked you if MKM was legal because I saw the Rakdos Madness deck and I didn't see they were playing the Demand Answers, and that's because it's not legal yet.
I did look. That was my thought today when I saw this list earlier today. I looked and I was like, "Oh, was that card legal?" And I forgot it wasn't online yet.
So it's cool to see. This is the first time I've seen this deck pop up in a while too. So it's really cool to see this come up.
They're playing the Tomb Raiders.
Yeah, that was something different.
Oh, this looks sick.
Boros Scent, it's really cool seeing in second place because we don't see a ton of this deck anymore. And I think we saw a copy in one of the challenges, top 8 last week. Manguchi just made a YouTube channel of Paper Pauper gameplay, and I think the first episode he was not playing Synthesizer. I'm a liar. He was playing Coggates.
Against Gardens?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was also just recently on a card market video that was Pauper.
And
that's what I was thinking. And I know he's a big speaker on this deck, so I don't know if that had anything to do with the resurgence of it or not.
That's possible. I also think the deck's just like fundamentally is a strong deck. Like it can do well in any challenge that you want it to.
And losing on breakers, we had another copy of Turbo Fog in 9th place. So
love it.
Really showing up in these challenges.
I can safely tell everyone that I will not be playing Turbo Fog this weekend, unfortunately.
Good.
Good. I will not be the bad guy this time.
Is it only because you can't find a Words of Wisdom?
I can't find a Words of Wisdom.
Oh, man.
I do want to talk about this ephemerate list in first place, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a notable card here that I find was excluded that you would tend to find in most of these Jeskai ephemerate lists, and that is the Kenku Artificer.
Okay.
You do not find that in this particular list. This version is just trying to win its really, really long game with like Murmuring Mystic. Like that's its like in-game card is Murmuring Mystic. But
do you agree with that? Do you like that, or what do you think?
From the games I've played thus far with it, it's fine. I think it's really. I guess it depends on how you expect your day to be. Like what you expect to play against inside of a day. I guess is really the key here. Having only one copy of the Murmuring Mystic makes that kind of hard because most people play. If they were playing Kenku, they played 2. So this just makes your Murmuring Mystic very, very important.
Let's move it to the next week's before Thomas's laptop burns down my house.
It's fine. It's just making some noise. Goodness.
I know.
But we can move on. Second, this looks like this is the late Saturday challenge. Also on February 4th. In 8th place, we have Noonanman on Mono Red Kaldatha. In 7th place, Cacho Rowo on Green White Boggles. Let's go. In 6th place, SKP Chino on Is It Terror? In 5th place, GN42 on Walls Combo. In 4th place, back-to-back top 4s by Echo Baronin on Mono Red Kaldatha. Our 3rd place list is also Mono Red Kaldatha in the hands of Michael Larmondo. In 2nd place, back-to-back, back-to-back top 4. This time, top 2, Baiko De Gea on Blue Black Fairies. And in 1st place, with an 8-1 record throughout the whole tournament, we have Magic Forever _MTGO on Mono Red Kaldatha. Now that is it safe to say we're back, baby?
I was fixing to say, just when you thought it was gone, it comes right back.
Really, really good weekend for this deck.
Really good weekend for Burn.
Yeah, it had a very strong showing, especially in that particular challenge. 4 of the top 8.
I wonder, are people just not packing the hate, you think? Or the sideboard cards?
People probably have gotten away from having so many dedicated red hate. Mm-hmm. So yeah, probably the red players are taking advantage of that.
Like this fairies list I see, there's only one unexpected things here.
I think the idea is that most of these red decks now are getting to the point where they don't have that many burn spells, so people are not like necessarily looking to have that aspect covered. They can usually cover most of the red deck with just removal spells.
That's true.
That tends to be the case. But it's still around. It can still get you.
Yeah, still a very good deck.
Still very strong.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of requires a whole a lot of different hate. You can you need to deal with those 1/1s, but they still play 12 to 15 burn spells. You see the Steel Fires, you see the Galvanic Blast, the Chain Lightnings, the Bolts. Those they still have the reach. You're not safe at 12 still.
No, I agree. The one I mentioned my ephemerate list that I put together. I took out one card from that person's list and I took out one Destroy Evil for a main deck Union of the Third Path. to a nod to the aggressive decks. Just having to be able to loop that with Archaeomancer is very strong.
Nice.
And these decks are really fast because I'm just double checking real quick, but it appears nobody. Okay, that's not true. But for the most part, we're not seeing a lot of Ren's Resolve effects or Reckless Impulse effects. I know one of these decks plays 2 copies in total, but everyone's kind of moving away from just for more damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's something you tested, God. I know you tend to like those effects, right? Okay. It's
yeah,
kind of
they're better when you have the pingers though. This is just all in, and this first place list is the cleanest list I've seen in a while. Sometimes they're on like 3 bushwhackers, maybe 3 implements, but this is just 4s all the way down, except for the 3 Seal of Fire. This is just super clean.
It's split between the 4. 2 are playing Ren's effects, and
Okay.
the top 2 are not playing them.
Right.
So I think they're sacrificing that grindiness just to be quick and get the game over with and kill you.
Yeah, synthesizer and combustion, implement of combustion are usually enough for that little bit extra. You don't really need much extra when you can hit the board, and also the blood token off of the Epicure too. That's pretty reasonable draw effect sometimes.
You know, there was 0 gardens in the top 8 this weekend. Besides that,
in the online tournaments, I think a lot. Again, I've mentioned it previously. I think a lot of that has to do with how slow that deck is to play on Magic Online.
And
it
oh my gosh,
is really slow on Magic Online.
A lot of Dredge this last one, which is kind of funny. Like in the whole, and there's
when a deck does well, a lot of people like earlier in the weekend, a lot of people will take it for a spin. Nice to see a Boggles list, the green-white hexproof list, cracking the top 8. We don't see this list very often. It's just 3 playsets of the hexproof creatures, and a bunch of auras, some lands, and some community spirits. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it can certainly eat up the mono red list. In fact, my thought was they probably played against the blue-black fairies player, playing for top 8. Because otherwise I think they would be in at least top 4 if they had been paired up against one of the mono red players.
Man, I think they would have won this if they didn't get,
right.
That's what.
Yeah,
unless mono red pulled that out somehow.
Maybe, I don't know. We'd have to find out.
You can always, with that deck, you can always mold a 4 pretty hard.
You can mold a 4. You find like a hexproof creature, but don't find a way to like enchant it, and then they just get like in the festivities, and it just kills it, and then that's the game over.
Yeah,
there's always that possibility.
That's
even
true.
Even unlosable matchups can still be lost.
Oh yeah,
I've played many a games where I am, man, there's no way I can lose this, and I lose it. Yep. And I'm like, what happened? It slipped out from under me.
Yep, I would agree. All right, I think that goes over all the bigger tournament results for the weekend.
Yeah, if you watch this whole thing, or listen to all of us.
If you watched it with your ears.
Yeah, exactly. We appreciate you making it this far. You should leave us a review. That helps a lot with some stuff and makes it recommend people. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mother, your father that you love this podcast. Give us a review, all that fun stuff. If you got any questions, you can send them to commongroundmtgpod@gmail.com. You can DM us, any of us on Twitter, if you have any questions, all that fun stuff.
We all love talking about the format. Mm-hmm. Also, come to Pauper Cup in Chicago.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time. I'm also going to give a shout out. If you're in Middle Tennessee and you're listening, we're going to have our monthly at the Game Cave this coming Saturday, the 10th. It's at noon. It's a super fun time. That will be the highlight of our episode next week. Will be our respective recaps from the tournament. Last time we were there last month, we had filmed a bunch of video. Unfortunately, someone, probably me, accidentally set the camera to slow-mo, and so we don't have a ton of usable footage. So I might try to do some like audio recording here and there, and maybe I'll splice that into the edit to be some of next week's episode as well.
Do you want me to bring my camera again? We could do some fun.
No, I think let's just do audio. We'll just do it. Be a little bit more chill this time.
Stay safe. Peace out.
That's it? Bye?
Yeah, we
just like that?
We introed it out already.
Oh.
We said message us on Twitter.
Okay.
Ask us questions. Write a review. Bye.
Okay. Goodbye, fam. Thank you so much for listening.
Goodbye, everyone. Till next week. left the door open with kittens. Whoops. Alex, I left the door open with kittens. You mind?
I do not.
Cool.
Come on, bud.
Goodbye, little one.
Goodbye, my friend. Sorry.